The following podcast is taken from a live broadcast on Inspire FM.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. It's 10 o'clock, Monday, 8th of April. And you're listening to the Urban Kube show with me, Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock this morning, live and direct from the Inspire FM studios. Now, you can catch all the action. Where else? You can catch the action on Facebook Live as well. And you get to see who is in the studio, folks, because as always, I'm accompanied by marvellous guests. And we've got a beautiful, beautiful family keeping me company in the studio this morning, and this is an exceptional local family, and they are in the studio right now, and I am joined by who else? He's brought them in. It's Bilal Hussain. You'll know who Bilal is when he says salam to me. Assalamu alaikum, brother Bilal.
Alaikum salam.
Bilal, do you want to introduce who's in the studio with me this morning?
To my left, by Heartway. Is that right? By Heartway is my lady that nobody's ever seen, but yes, this is Saira.
And my name's Hassan.
Assalamu alaikum.
And then Hassan's already introduced himself. Say salam, Hassan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, mashallah.
Haashim, say salam alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
To the mic.
Fun. Assalamu alaikum.
Good boy.
Okay, it's this wonderful family is joining me this morning to talk about some absolutely amazing fundraising efforts, people. The beautiful Hussain family this morning has raised over £2,000 for the Luton Food Bank, and we're going to be talking. How do I know?
And I got a trophy.
And you brought a trophy in as well, didn't you? So we're going to be finding out a little bit more about this exceptional fundraising effort. Now, we talked about this on the previous show because I spoke to Brother Tariq, and he told us about everything that happened at the fun run, the colour fun run, and the whole purpose of the colour fun run.
Some people don't have any food and any money, so they can get all the money and food from the Luton Food Bank.
Wow. And is that why you did this run?
Yes.
Yes. And so who told you about the run? Who made you help you do this? Do you want to come to the camera, sweet? First of all, tell me, Mike, tell me your name. Tell me who you are.
Hassan.
And Hassan, how old are you?
5.
5 years old. You're a big number 5. Wow. And you did the running all on your own. Did anybody help you? Did you come along with anybody?
Yeah, my dad and my mum.
And your mum as well. Your mummy Saira, daddy Bilal. And who sat next to you? Who's this young man sat next to you?
Haashim.
Okay, come close to the mic.
Haashim, tell me, how old are you, Haashim?
7.
7. So Haashim and Hassan joined in for the Colour Fun Run. And how much money did you raise?
Over £2,000.
£2,000? Wow. Did you think you'd raise £2,000?
Not really, I didn't.
You didn't?
I thought you'd do 6 billion.
6 billion. Inshallah, you will raise 6 billion because your father has supported and helped doing a lot of fundraising as part of like Charity Week. So I'm sure he's going to motivate you to do that. Saira, as their mum, how did you get involved and what did you think about them participating?
I think the involvement, to be honest, was more from Bilal. Bilal's got them more involved than I did. We visited food bank one afternoon, and I've always said it's important for the children to actually see that there are families and children out there that are not so privileged as they are, and it was important for them to see that, you know, food bank exists and why it exists. And when we went there that afternoon, the boys saw the food being packaged, and when they came home, they were both quite affected by it.
Wow.
So they said, "Mummy, I can't believe there's children who don't get food. What can we do to help?" And when the fun run came about, I thought, you know, this is a good opportunity for them to get involved and to do their little bit.
And they sure did their little bit. So good, this little bit that you even got a trophy.
Show them your trophy.
Look at that trophy. You're going to show it to the camera?
Show it to the camera over there.
Wow. How did it feel to get that trophy? Did you think you'd get one?
No. I thought I'd get the biggest.
You thought you'd get the biggest, and you've not let go of that trophy, have you?
This is the medium.
This is the medium one. Oh, so there's a bigger trophy than that.
This is the third.
The third one. So, but you know what? That trophy is remarkable. Where does that trophy sit at home? Is there a special place?
Yeah, in my bedroom.
In your bedroom.
Hassan,
Wow.
do you want to tell the viewers?
Not in his bedroom. My dad's bedroom. No, in our bedroom. In our dad. No, fine, little room. In our dad's bedroom.
Okay,
Let's not
Mummy,
be
where is it? Mummy, just you take the charge
At the
here.
moment, Hassan is actually walking around with it, so he's travelling quite a lot around the house.
Now, travel is something you guys are going to be going on, mashallah. It is something we're going to be talking about today as well, because it is half term.
We'll
So,
be travelling to Dubai and Pakistan.
lucky you! Dubai and Pakistan! Wow, and when are you about to go?
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
Like,
Today.
Today?
We're just flying.
You're flying today, so
Yeah.
after the show, you're going to go straight away. That is so cool.
airport.
To the airport.
And I'm even going on a lounge.
You're going in a lounge as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Exciting stuff. Folks, if you've just tuned in, you are listening to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza. It's 6 minutes past 10 o'clock, and I am joined by some very, very gorgeous little boys and their parents in the studio.
I can hear you.
I know you can hear me. I'm glad you can. Who else can hear me, do you think?
Me.
You?
We're on the whole of Luton.
Hopefully, because we are live and direct to Luton surrounding areas, Peterborough and Sheffield this morning. If you are listening a little bit further afield, then please do get in.
the best.
Luton is the best.
No, I would say Jongi's the best.
Who?
It's
Jongi.
the name of our village in Pakistan.
Oh, okay. And is that where you're heading off to?
We're going to a wedding, aren't we?
What you're saying is wrong.
Okay, so this wedding, so you're attending a wedding now. Exciting stuff. Folks, the brothers that we have in the studio are Haashim and Hassan Kayani, and they are joining me to share their journey, basically, on participating at the Colour Fun Run. These gorgeous two little boys, absolute fundraising stars, raised over £2,000 to make sure that no child goes hungry across Luton, and they helped support Luton Food Bank. Their parents are in the studio as well, Saira and Bilal. Mashallah, it's an absolute pleasure to have them joining us this morning. It is half term, folks, and
I wanted to win the biggest trophy.
you wanted to, and you will, because we're going to prepare you for the next one, aren't we? Are there any other activities that the boys are going to get involved with? Has this given them a bit of a feel for more fundraising, Bilal?
It's. I think what's important as parents is that they, like Sarah said, they have a connection or they understand there's a need out there. And obviously, I'm involved in lots of other bits. So they've been to the charity week dinners and they absolutely loved it. So I think they will be. I'm not a great fan on this kind of flooding them with stuff, because then they become
I can make
desensitized.
my own breakfast.
You can make your own breakfast. Oh, I'm so loving that. Dad, just hold on a moment.
Yeah,
we
sorry.
need to. This is priority.
I think
here.
the show's about them today.
You can make your own breakfast. What can you make?
Say jam sandwich.
Get close to the mic. Close to the mic.
What can you make?
Chocolate spread on bread.
Oh gosh, that is just exceptional. And you can make a jam sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, do you know what?
Haashim, I can hear you.
Okay, now the boys are in the studio. I think this is the first time they've had the opportunity to come on to a live radio show there, and hopefully it's not going to be the last, because I've got a sense that these guys will be hosting their own show, inshallah. Folks, if you'd like to join in with any of the conversation this morning, now the conversation is going to be, do children get too much homework in the holidays? Now, what I want to ask is, guys, are the children taking homework with them on this trip?
Oh, yes, they are.
We do. Yes, we are. We do homework every day.
Every day. But what about the holidays? Should the holidays be just about doing nothing and getting parents to kind of take the initiative to create like-learning?
I think it's important to do a little bit, not too much, but I mean, me personally, I do about between 15 minutes to half
Too
an hour
much
daily.
is really boring.
Is it? Too much is really boring. So how much should it be then?
0 minutes.
0 minutes. And what do you think you should replace 0 minutes with? So if you didn't have to do homework, what would you like to do to learn? How would you like to learn?
I would
Haashim?
probably.
I would probably get some books that help me learn.
Oh, I like that. And what do you like reading?
I would like reading things about space and things about dinosaurs and stuff.
And that's what it should be, right? Giving the children the initiative to kind of learn at their own pace and what they're interested in. And I would like you to speak. So,
If we're interested, we get in. And if we pass our sets, we get good homework.
oh, if you pass your search, you get good homework.
We have incentives in place.
Wow, and he is actually going to be sitting his SATs.
Haashim is, yes.
Haashim is sitting his SAT. So how are you feeling about that, Haashim?
Good, but when I was going holiday, I did get a bit crafty and I knew.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
Do you want to explain what you did?
What you did. So we packed his. Should I tell him? So we packed his pencil case and all his papers. And just before we were leaving, I thought I'd check that he's got everything in his, because he's got his own rucksack. I want to pack his own stuff.
cool.
And the pencil case has gone missing.
Oh no!
So, guess what he done? He thought, I'll tell you, I know what I'll do. I won't pack it and pretend it's not in the bag and mum and dad won't notice. So, yes, that's what he did this morning to try and avoid doing the work. But anyway.
So you hid your pencil case so that you didn't have to do homework.
Yep.
Do you know what's going to happen? Everybody's going to turn up at the door downstairs with pencil cases to give you before you leave. So what we're going to have to do is, if Nagash, the studio manager this morning, is listening, is get some pens and pencils ready for you to take with you.
Yes, but we
What do you
packed
think
it
about
only.
that?
Okay, I would actually say.
We'll keep it, leave your sunglasses at home.
Yep. Okay.
And the top trump cards.
Haashim the chat box. No, no.
No. But taking children away on holiday is a wonderful learning experience. They get to see and absorb different cultures. Is this the first time the boys are travelling out with you?
No. This is actually...
It's actually the first time because Haashim never. It's the first time I've went Dubai. Well, it's the second time I went Pakistan.
It's the first time I've been Jongi or Pakistan, whatever.
Okay.
So they've travelled, we've been out quite a few times. They've both, like we said earlier, both been quite fortunate. So we've travelled quite a lot. We've been pretty much everywhere, to be honest. So yeah.
So if you had a choice of kind of setting a curriculum for the children, how would you, away from a school setting, how would you work around that? What would you do, do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. She's very.
Would it be homeschooling? Yeah, if it was homeschooling, what would you do?
That was a good studio.
See, for me, I prefer. But I don't say prefer. Sarah's very academic, so she's a lot about theory and papers and lots of exams and all, which is great. And I think that's, that's awesome that they academically they're strong. Whereas for me, I also like the real world experiences and real life, because I always feel that that's what makes you a great solicitor or a.
I think it's important to have both,
Have both, and you've said something very quite poignant there, Hassan. What did you just say? Real work is not...
Real world.
Real world is really not dirty.
Okay, and what do you mean by that? That's quite a philosophical perspective.
Dad, I don't know actually what, he does have really bad handwriting, so sometimes I don't understand his handwriting.
Okay, so you don't...
Haashim is polo. It's like a 10-year-old writing.
Oh, you write. Okay, you write like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I've got really bad writing, so yeah.
Okay, but your writing hasn't stopped you from achieving what you've achieved. Mashallah.
Let me just embarrass Dad by saying that.
Okay. Oh, you've done it. Is Dad embarrassed?
I am really embarrassed.
Totally. And this has gone live and direct to many a people.
Really.
Guys, if you're tuning in, it was so much energy in the studio, mashallah. I have two exceptionally bubbly,
really good,
vibrant young men.
Never dirty.
And aged 7 and 5, it's Haashim, aged 7, and his little brother Hassan, who is 5 years old. Now, these are our fundraising little stars. I spoke about them in last week's show because the Luton Food Bank Colour Fun Run has now come to an end. It had numbers and numbers of people across Luton participating in. Oh, was it really fun? Participating in the fun run, and the
fun run was really hard because I thought I'd come first.
It was really hard, but you thought you'd come first.
I was with my mom and dad and my brother, and I was ahead of them.
Oh, wow.
But they cheated because they didn't actually do the 5 kilometers. Because I did all of them, and I think I came first. They just did. I wanted to only do one.
You only wanted to do one.
And
Wow.
then I really wanted to go finish line first.
Wow.
So I'll get the big trophy and this trophy.
And your
So
trophy.
what's that trophy? Sorry, Shemiza. That trophy, what's it for, Hassan? What did you get that trophy for?
Over 2,000 pounds. For raising over the biggest pound.
Biggest pounds, and that's £2,000. You raised £2,000. That was wonderful.
£2,000.
Over. I've got to get that right. Over. Has it made you want to do more things for charity? Do you want to raise more money and help more people? Has it made you want to feel that this?
I want to do like 6,000 and 10 billion and 1,000 and 6.
So it's made you want to do it a bit more. What about yourself, sweetie? What about you, Haashim?
Makes me want to do a bit more so the poor people get more and more and more money.
Wonderful, wonderful, to make a change, make a difference in their lives. And what was it about the food bank, Haashim, that made you think, I really want to help the children in Luton?
I know because he had to run again because I know what I will by myself because I want to go first.
And
Can you speak
I
loud?
wanted to get the biggest trophy.
okay, so it's not all about the trophy, though, is it? It's about helping as well. But it's a lovely trophy. I absolutely love it. It's very, very sparkly. So, mashallah, Hassan and Haashim have come to the studio this morning to keep me company with their wonderful, wonderful mother, Saira, and their father, Bilal, to share their remarkable journey of participating in the Colour Fun Run, mashallah. You're actually making your way on a trip today.
Yes.
Thank you so very much for joining us and sharing this experience of these two remarkable boys. And inshallah, I hope we get to have them joining the show again and participating in lots more events and activities. So, Saira, how are you looking forward to the trip?
Some other people might go Pakistan and Dubai and...
Yeah, well, do you know what we want to say to them? I hope they have a safe journey.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. And yeah, so how long are you out for, guys?
From 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, God.
Is it 2 weeks, Saira?
Yeah.
The radio is too good.
2 weeks, 1 week in.
And September. No, we're not going 1 week in Dubai because we're staying in Dubai for 3 weeks. 3 days and...
Are you going to blog your trip?
Yeah.
As in, like, take a video of your trip?
Did you say blog?
Blog.
Okay, yeah.
We know about blogging.
You know about vlogging and blogging.
Okay. So, why do we have bloggers, potential bloggers here?
Do you know where bananas grow?
No, I don't. Tell me.
On trees.
Wow. We've got a bit of a comedian in the studio. I wonder whose sense of humour comes from.
Hassan, do you want to tell them about your dinosaurs? What do you know about dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs are predators some are herbivores and some are carnivores. And the carnivores eat meat and the herbivores eat plants. So tell us about the food chain. And you don't know what they will. Let me embarrass you then.
Wow.
What's your favourite dinosaur, Hassan?
So like my favourite dinosaur is a T-Rex and a Spinosaurus and all the carnivores.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you know what? It's been really wonderful to see you as a family here in the studio this morning. Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you for your patience, Shemiza.
No, absolutely love it.
And the viewers.
I love the energy these two young men have, and I hope young boys. We'll say young boys because you raised your eyebrows at me then, Haashim. It's wonderful to see this. The fact that you're nurturing opportunities and experiences. Is there any advice and guidance you could give to parents as a young, professional couple that both of you are, mashallah, raising two exceptional little boys who are participating in, local grassroots charity activities?
Raising is good for charity.
Raising is? Wow. I hope Brother Tariq is listening into the studio. You have got an amazing co-host in the studio. You're going to be amazing, Hassan and Haashim, together in helping fundraise. Bilal, any advice you could give to parents listening in?
Look, the thing is, nobody's perfect, and we're not a perfect family, far from it. So we've always learnt from others. We've always learnt from our parents. We've always learnt from cousins and friends who are also good parents. So we're learning from people. To be honest, we've not mastered anything. It's none
I
of these.
think, parenting doesn't really come with a manual. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of, we try to implement what we like.
What we like, we've learned from people, take the good,
Absolutely.
just, So,
Charity's good, so is the fun one.
Hassan, can you explain what we were talking about earlier, the children that benefit from food bank and how they benefit in the school holidays? It's an interesting point the boys made.
Children struggle in the school holidays because they don't have any clothes and stuff. Because some children
School
are
meals, the free
and
school
they
meals.
don't have 3 school meals. They have to, and they don't even have anything. They struggle, so they struggle to do stuff.
Wow. And the fact that he's aware of this, and it's a beautiful message because it is half term. There are going to be lots of families who will not be.
It's nearly Easter.
It's Easter. It's Easter holidays. And there'll be lots of children off in the Easter holidays who will be dependent on the Luton Food Bank. And
Shemiza, we have a flight to catch.
yes, you have. And on that note, I'm going to bid you farewell.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful, wonderful journey. And inshallah,
Bye.
thank you.
Say love to
Hassan
everyone, Hassan.
and Haashim.
Say love
I love it. Safe journey, guys. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Bye. We go in Pakistan and Dubai and
I'm so
everybody's going.
I'm so envious of you guys. But the beautiful thing is, the fact is, what you're doing is such a beautiful thing. You are helping. You guys have just helped lots of families across Luton and Easter holidays to have a meal.
They have bananas.
And bananas.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so very much for joining us this morning, and the beautiful Hussein family. Assalamualaikum.
Say that out.
Okay, all right, on that note, take care. Safe journey, guys. Thank you so very much. So that was Saira, Bilal, Haashim and Hassan who have joined us this morning just before they're going on their break away to Pakistan and Dubai. It is the Easter holidays, guys, and on that note, I had the absolute pleasure of having this family join us this morning. And the reason why they joined me was because Hassan and Haashim had raised over £2,000 for the local children as part of the Luton Food Bank Colour Fund Run. So they were making sure that no child goes hungry across the holiday period. It was wonderful having them joining in the show this morning and also talking to me about parenting as well, because we had Saira and Bilal, who are a beautiful young couple, mashallah, professional couple who are balancing their professional careers as well as being great parents as well, and introducing and nurturing the children with the world of charity work, which I just found absolutely remarkable. It was absolutely wonderful having the boys full of energy, full of beans in the studio, keeping myself and you guys company as well. Now, keeping in line with the topic of conversation of education and holidays and homeworks and teaching, what I wanted to ask you guys is, should teachers not give homework throughout in the holidays? Should teachers not give homework? And should parents teach them themselves? That's what we're asking you guys to kind of answer this morning, and in order to do that, you can WhatsApp us on 07779481822. Now, we've had one family rush out of the studio to get on a plane to Dubai, and we've got another family in the studio. I am joined by the very, very wonderful Musart Ellaahi. Now, she is a regular on the show. She's a friend of the show, mashallah, come all the way from London this morning. She's a high performance mindset coach, award-winning international inspirational speaker, author and TV host. Assalamu alaikum, Sarah.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me, Shemiza.
I'm delighted to have you, and you're not alone because you're joined with your
I've got
daughter.
a surprise guest for you today.
Assalamu alaikum. And what's your name, darling?
Anaba.
Anaba. What a beautiful name. And what does that mean?
It means grapes from heaven.
Grapes from heaven. And you do look like a little angel. You do. What's it like being on the show this morning, Anaba?
Tell Auntie Shemiza really what happened this morning. She didn't want to come.
Does she not?
She goes, it's going to be boring, Mummy. You're always doing this stuff. I don't want to go. What am I going to do that? I said, trust me. Auntie Shemiza said you're going to have fun.
I just felt so nervous.
You're so nervous. You can't make... Well, do you know what? You're doing a remarkable job this morning and you don't look nervous. And you brought me a little present as well, didn't you? What did you bring me?
Jalebi.
Jalebis in the morning. It can't get better than that. Guys, we're going to be still joined by the wonderful Musart and the very, very awesome Anaba on the show this morning. They're going to be joining me. We're going to be talking about everything and anything under the sun, getting some great tips, great advice, and lots of mother and daughter conversations. It's all happening on the Urban Kube. We're going to be heading to a break. Straight after the break, I'll be joined by this beautiful mother and daughter, and we're going to be asking you the question as well as them: should teachers not give homework in the holidays? Should holidays be about parents taking the initiative to motivate and initiate activities for their children? If you missed the first part of the show, then you can catch it on the repeat, which is 8 p.m. And you can scroll back on Facebook as well. You can leave comments on the Facebook page because I'd love to read them out and share and do some shout outs as well. So grab yourself a cuppa or maybe a jalebi or two because we're going to be having those. And join me straight after this. Assalamu alaikum.
Inspire FM on 105.1 FM. Inspire FM. Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome. Thank you for staying with me on Where Else the Urban Kube on Inspire FM 105.1 FM. We are going live and direct. We are Facebook and on the app this morning as well. Now the show is running all the way to 12 o'clock. It is live and direct. Mashallah, we're going across Peterborough, Sheffield, Nottingham this morning too, and you can actually catch all the conversations back on iTunes and our podcast as well. It's all happening on the show this morning. Earlier on, we had the absolute pleasure of being joined by the Hussein family. That is Bilal and Saira Mahmood, who joined us with their absolutely adorable children, and that is Haashim, age 7, and his little brother Hassan, who is age 5. Now, both the boys participated in the Colour Fun Run for Luton Food Bank, and they raised over £2,000, mashallah, £2,000, so that no child goes hungry across Luton via the Luton Food Bank. It is the half-term holidays, folks. And it was quite fitting to have the family join us who were actually on their way to Pakistan and Dubai this morning. So they gave me their time and joined me on the show this morning. But they're not the only family joining me this morning. I'm also joined by another tremendous duo. It's family time on the show. I'm so happy. I'm joined by no other than the very, very awesome Musart Ellaahi. She is an author, high performance mindset coach, award-winning international inspirational speaker. She's a TV host as well, and she is the mother of the absolutely gorgeous Anaba, who is in the studio with me this morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
And I want a big assalamu alaikum from you, Anaba. Go on, a bit louder.
Walaikum salam.
Walaikum salam. You know, it's such a treat having families in the show this morning. I'm loving the vibe. I'm loving the energy. So thank you very much for joining me.
That's what happens when you don't get childcare. So you just bring the children along.
Okay, don't reveal too many secrets. You know, this is all planned. It was, wasn't it?
Yes, it was planned. It was absolutely planned.
But as a professional working mother, mashallah, you have got a tremendous career. I really don't know how you manage, but you do it. You manage it so effortlessly. But how, childcare must be quite a thing for you.
Well, actually, alhamdulillah, I'm actually quite lucky because my husband, it's either I have her or she, or he has her. So, I'm very lucky that he's very supportive. He's always like, okay, if you need to go, you go, I'll watch her. Even today, actually, she was moaning, she didn't want to come. And he's like, I'll watch her. I said, no, I need to take her. She needs to see this side of my life.
That's wonderful.
It's good for them to learn as well. That look, mommy's waking up early in the morning. I know it's not nice to drag them out of bed, but I think they need to know, like, what we go through as parents as well. And it makes them to appreciate, the parents more. Like, this is how hard my parents are working.
But your you know what, your work is fun though, isn't it?
It is fun.
It is fun. It's not
Yeah, I do
hard
love
work because you are doing things that you're passionate
Of
about,
course.
and you're very, very engaged in this work.
Yeah.
And you're not just doing it for yourself, but you're actually reaching out to numbers and numbers of
Yeah.
women. And we're going to find out a little bit more about that, because now you're an ambassador for an award for women,
Yes.
mashallah, which you've had the pleasure of hosting and giving awards out. So we're going to find out a little bit more
Yeah,
about that.
no
So
worries.
congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that.
Thank
You're
you.
also the author of Elena, which is a moving story of a young girl and lost education. Mashallah, this book has gained a lot of positive reviews, and we are going to be talking a little bit more about your writing journey too.
Sure.
Coming back to the conversation I was having with our listeners this morning, and that is about half term and holidays and homework.
Yeah.
And should teachers be setting homework, and how much homework should be set for children, and should parents take
no.
responsibility? And Anna's shaking her head.
No, because right now from my teachers give me like so much homework.
For the holidays, yeah, she's not happy.
Oh, you're not happy? Why are you not happy?
I just don't like him. It's so hard. So
Actually,
that one becomes
to be fair,
excuse.
I think if you go to Scandinavian countries like Denmark, Norway, they do not give any homework for holidays at all, because they believe that's your rest time. And it's quite funny because statistics show that children in European, like Scandinavia side of Europe, are much more happy than children in other countries, I think, because they have that relaxed attitude towards education.
And also, are they the type of children that kind of, are more adventurous? They will play with traditional toys, because there has been research also suggesting that, what, you need to give less toys to your children to get them using their imagination a little bit more. So what would you like to do, Anaba, in the holidays instead of homework? How would you like to kind of enjoy your holidays?
Go to the beach.
Ooh, are you listening? Mommy?
Yeah. Well, with this lovely rainy weather, it would be amazing to go to the beach. Yeah.
It feels summer, but actually, on Thursday we're going to Denmark
Yeah, we're
for
going
2
away
weeks.
as well.
Oh, Denmark.
Yes, we're going to Copenhagen as well, aren't we?
Okay, so why are you going to Copenhagen?
Well, we've got family there. And
Okay,
also,
makes it easier.
makes it so much easier. And we haven't been for a while, and it's a beautiful country, actually. It's quite nice. It's very clean. It's got beach as well, actually, in Alba.
Oh,
so
nice.
Let's hope there'll be a nice sunshine.
You said we're going to Barbados. I think that's called.
But not Barbados. I said I'd love to go to like Mauritius or something. So
I love how all the children on the show this morning are really putting their parents on the spot. Folks, if you're listening into the show, you are tuned in to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock. It is half-term holidays. It's the Easter break. And on that note, we're asking all parents and children should schools be providing homework in the holidays? And is it too much? Is it too little? You tell us on 07779 481822. Helping me answer that question is no other than Musart Ellaahi, author extraordinaire, award-winning international inspirational speaker, TV host and mindset coach. And she's joined with me with her gorgeous little girl, and her little girl is called
Anaba.
And she's in the studio with me. And Anaba was not wanting to come into the studio, but Musart, she said something about observing the show this morning.
She goes, Auntie looks really fun. I hope I get to go in. I said, don't worry, she'll drag us in.
See, it's fun. And hopefully, you'll be on the other side of the microphone. Do you think this is the sort of thing that you'd like to do? Would you like to be a presenter or an author like your mummy, or a TV host?
Yeah, what do you want to be, Anaba?
I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure yet?
Actually, she's very into YouTube. She's like, Mummy, I want to be a YouTuber. And she does it at home, like with her camera on her own. Like, she makes these weird expressions.
I use a mirror pretending that I'm vlogging.
Yeah, she's pretending that she's vlogging. So
oh my goodness. So how does that make you feel as a parent? Because I was listening into a conversation over another radio station where they were suggesting that, the old traditional roles of heroes like the policeman or the fireman or a nurse or a doctor are not what children are aspiring to be. They all want to be bloggers.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think nowadays everything's more about creativity. So I'm not really against it. I think if you let your children be what they want, what they're passionate about, they're going to succeed. If you're going to force them to be doctors, engineers or whatever, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if they want to do it, please let them do it. Otherwise, you're going to have very depressed adults.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just say now it is.
I'm sorry.
She's just getting straight to the chase,
But But actually, I want to be a scientist.
Yeah, she does want to be a scientist.
I am totally high-fiving
Because
that.
before that, I had these like empty glitter tubes, and I used my sand to put them in and to pretend I'm doing experiments.
Yeah.
And the fact is, she was introduced to that. She was given that activity which nurtured her interest. And maybe that's what you need to do. Now, this is perfect, for a typical Asian parent, scientist, daughter.
Yes, of course.
Mashallah, mashallah.
No.
You're on the right track, girl. Right track.
But I still say to her, you can actually, when she was a little bit younger, she said, I want to be a shopkeeper. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Why do you want to be a shopkeeper? Because shopkeepers have so much stuff. I'm like, yeah, they don't get to keep it. They have to sell it.
That's the key. That's the key. Folks, if you'd like to join in with any of the conversation this morning, it's easy. You can WhatsApp us on 0779 481 822. I'm totally being distracted by this number written down because I have a box of jalebis. It's World Health Day, and my dear guest and friend Musart has bought me jalebis. It can't get better than that this morning. World Health Day, jalebis.
Well, you know, mashallah, you look very healthy, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
No, not the Punjabi way healthy.
Is there a Punjabi way healthy?
Oh, there is. That is when you put on a lot of weight. So they're like, yeah, that person's very healthy. And if you just lose a little bit, they're like, oh, you're the one that comes order.
But I'm totally, they're glistening. It's a great filter. The orangeness of
you won't need Snapchat filters today.
Yeah, no Snapchat filters. It's a jalebi filter is working its trick.
Exactly.
But thank you so very much for doing that this morning. Now,
pleasure.
We were talking to Hassan and Haashim this morning, and they talked about the fact that they can actually make their own breakfast.
Oh, wow.
So
Naba can as well.
Yeah,
I can. So basically, my dad bought me waffles, but they have to toast, and I just go use the toaster.
Yeah.
Oh, so you waffle your own waffles through in a toaster. My kids like that as well. They add fruit to them. Is there anything else that you like to make in the morning? What's your ideal breakfast?
Big scoop of Nutella.
Yes. And also that sometimes if I don't have lunch, I basically just make the sandwich, Nutella one.
Yeah, she loves Nutella.
Yesterday I had 5.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Naba.
Okay, all right. This is like parenting goals gone downhill, and we're not advertising a brand.
No,
at all.
I know, but actually, I was actually proud of her because I was actually busy doing some work and on my laptop, and then I didn't realize, and I've got this thing. I like to just stick on my headphones, and it just helps me to be very creative, and then I'm not disturbed by the surrounding areas. And then I just see her while she's watching TV, she's coming and popping in some sandwiches. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You helped yourself.
No, I was playing my game.
Yeah, she was playing Roblox. That's another thing, which is a bit crazy nowadays. I think it's Roblox. I don't know if you've probably got that with your kids.
How does that make you feel as a parent with the number of
Oh no, it's too much media. I think it's that's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted her to come out today because I knew she's going to be at home. She's going to be. This holidays they want to play games, but I think it's nice to get out, get some fresh air. And I think as parents, we need to constrict the time, maybe just maximum 1 hour a day, or in the holidays.
Screen time.
So I'm actually quite strict with her. She doesn't play any games throughout the week. It's only weekends. But now it's holidays because we've only got a few days left before we go away.
How do you manage that? Because I find that parents do find to struggle to stick to that routine. And how do you manage that?
Well, actually, she knows. I'll just tell her that's it. Otherwise, if you play it in the week, then you can't play it the weekend. So and they know they've got more time in the weekend. So it's a nice little bribery tool.
Wonderful, and it's working for you, and it's working for you as well.
And I think its main thing is about having a routine. And mashallah, she goes to school, she comes home, she's got this thing now where I've got into a habit, she needs to do her homework herself. I look over it, whatever. So she does that before she goes to masjid. So then in the evening it's 5 to 7, it's masjid time. She comes home, a bit of chill out time, dinner, and then to bed at 9 on the dot.
On the dot, because you're exhausted by
But
then.
I don't get homework really in the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just get in the holidays.
But you're
or
reading
weekends.
every day.
Huh?
You have reading every day.
Yeah, I love to read.
What's your favourite book?
Oh,
But Diary of the Wimpy Kid, I've read
not
so
mine.
many books of them. I have 2 more books to finish.
Yeah, Diary of a Wimpy Kid is something she's a bit crazy about at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I said to her, can you please read my book? She goes, but mummy, it's boring.
I said to
You haven't even read it. She goes, what's Jeff? Is it Jeff? What's the author of Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Jeff Kenny.
Yeah, Jeff Kenny. She goes, he's my favourite author. I'm like, and I'm not. And I'm not.
My mom said that when you finish the book.
So she's promised me, actually. She's promised me when she's finished, she's going to read my book.
I didn't.
Because I'm dying for a review from her.
I said,
Mummy, can you let her speak?
I said something rude. So luckily, she said that you're going to read my book one day. I said, never in life.
Yeah, that was so mean.
Oh, but tell us about your book. You know,
Okay.
we are so curious
I'm sure she
now.
will like it when she starts reading
We
it.
are so curious now.
Well, actually, it's about a little girl who has learning difficulties in Pakistan.
Okay.
And obviously, because of the norms of Pakistan and the cultural background, learning difficulties aren't recognized. So she goes throughout her whole life of being verbally abused and being used to do house chores and things like that. And just because she's very naive and she's very, she hasn't got that confidence or self-esteem. So throughout her whole life, she is pushed towards just being told what to do.
Right.
And then, unfortunately, she never gets to study and she wants to learn. But she still makes something out of her life. She still makes something out of her, like she migrates to England. But when she gets older, she realizes she couldn't get a managerial role because she hasn't got an education. So it's just that part of the story to highlight the fact that learning difficulties need to be highlighted in Pakistan, and also the aggressiveness of her mother is obviously coming down from generations.
Right.
That where mothers think we need to be strict with our daughters, we need to be strict with them, otherwise how they're going to be strong in their later life.
The book is impactful. It's obviously resonating a lot of messages and understanding and sort of combating social taboos as well. Has this book been published or available in Pakistan?
Well, not yet. Actually, it's published worldwide already.
Okay, mashallah.
But inshallah, touch wood, this year I've spoken to some very good organisations who are willing to say, we're going to put a good word in, because it's with organisations who are helping with women with postnatal depression, with mental illness, and even learning difficulties in Pakistan. And let's have, du'as, inshallah. They've said, this is something that we'd be very interested in, to maybe make it into a play or something.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. That would be exceptional.
Yeah, or a production. So inshallah. Duas
and these duas are plentiful for you, because you've had a very fantastic journey where, from being an author, being a high performance mindset coach, we're going to be talking a little bit more about that, being an award-winning international inspirational speaker, but now a TV host. It seems to be that you're amalgamating all this skill set in your new TV show, which interestingly is in Urdu.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more.
Thanks to you, Miss Producer. Well, actually, to listeners, it was Shemiza's idea. She goes, Musart, I see you in Urdu. You need to be doing a show in Urdu. And alhamdulillah.
Urdu, not Urdu.
Well, okay, sorry, Urdu. Chala, you want a typical accent? I can do that, no problem. And what we're saying is, well, Urdu, mashallah, and I think it's your duas actually. You need to give me some duas today. That becomes a big hit Pakistani drama serial, right? And we have Sabah Qamar in it, and then we're done. We are done.
Tell us about the Urdu program.
Well, the Urdu show, alhamdulillah, it's taken on a very good turn. It's called Umid Seher on Islam Channel Urdu. I have interviewed some amazing women in the Pakistani community that I did not even know that are doing this work, and these are like unsung heroes, hidden women. I even had people who've come on with special needs, and a mother of special needs, and bless her, she was my actually up-to-date favorite guest, because she literally cried on the show, because she's obviously, mashallah, a very Saadi auntie ji, and she's had migrating from Pakistan and then not knowing a word of English, being brought up here, and she has 3 special needs children.
Wow. That
she brought up on herself with her husband, of course, with the help of her husband, and she has 2 children who are normal. Right. And she literally started crying on the show, because she said, I thought this platform, or people only high profile people come on TV, and you made me feel special today. She goes, normally people don't want to know about us. People don't want to hear. Yeah, people don't want to hear. She goes, if I tried to go and cry out to someone that, look, this is my struggle or whatever, but she goes, you made me feel so special today. And that really touched my heart, because I was like, wow, I didn't know it was making such an impact. And she literally started crying on the show. And she's like, you made me feel. I said, no. I said, auntie, you are more special than these high profile people, because you have taught us the sabak of sabr, and you've taught us so many lessons in the day. Like, I look up to you, because you're still sitting here. She was thanking Allah for her journey. Who would do that?
SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
And this is where media plays such an impactful role, and the fact that you're using it to kind of embrace these voices that are quite hidden away.
Exactly.
But it's only when they're brought out with, and it's the humble voices are the ones that have the most impact.
Yeah.
And this remarkable lady, and her journey has been quite testing, subhanAllah, with 3 children with disabilities, that trial that she's had, and that sabr is obviously, inshallah, will be rewarded.
Of course.
And this program that you present, that you don't just present, you also produce and you research.
Yes.
So you do everything on this. How what is that experience like?
Oh, it's amazing, because you know what, I've just been very, very lucky, and I think it's by the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I've, always get people say to me, how do you get guests on the show? How do you do it? And I'm like, Allah just sends them my way. It's just so weird. It's like a word of mouth. It's like a domino effect. And I always choose women that I know that, even if it's like one little lesson that they're going to give to the audience, it doesn't matter if it's just, it doesn't have to be someone who has an award. It doesn't have to be anyone who's so high profile. As long as that person is going to give away something to the audience, and mashallah, it's been phenomenal so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you'd like to interview on your show?
Oh, Imran Khan.
Imran Khan. I'm sure he's tuning in. Imran Khan, Sahib.
It's her favourite actor.
Is it?
No, not him. Well, that Imran Khan would be great too. That's Amir Khan.
I don't know what I'm talking about now.
Imran
It's
Khan,
all right, my dear.
the Prime Minister of Pakistan.
I know him.
Do you know what? You never know. It could happen.
It could happen. Anything is possible. It's about having that mindset. And this is something that
Actually, and the other person I would love to have is Malala Yousafzai.
Okay.
I think she's amazing, because my book is dedicated towards her as well, because she's helping girls all over the world with education, and I would love to have her, meet her one day, inshallah.
Inshallah. Now, we're referring to having a positive mindset, and this is something that you're very familiar with as a high-performance mindset coach. So what does that actually mean?
Well, that means tweaking and twisting your mindset without using a screwdriver, basically. It's basically learning how to cope with yourself. It's learning how to love yourself. It's learning to believe in yourself, mainly, that, you know what, if I put my mind to this, I can achieve anything. And I think if your mindset is right, nobody can stop you. And I think this is a big confusion that many people have nowadays. And there's a confusion, as well as there's lots of information as well. So there's also information overwhelmness as well. Right. So people don't know, okay, where do I go? What do I do? But I think if you put your mind to it, and and twist it from the negative to the positive, like once you trained your mind. Right. And one thing that I always teach is control your thoughts and don't let your thoughts control you. And I think we are all in an auto robotic state already from what we've been bringing up, and that's not our fault, because we are always going to think how we've been brought up, our environment and stuff like that, and we're going to always think, oh, you know what, for example, if you've been brought up to have, oh, you know what, I'm not going to have a happy relationship because my parents haven't had a happy relationship, or I've grown up seeing my siblings have the same thing, but that's not true. You can change that. It's all about how you think and how you behave or live your life.
And mindfulness is a very key thing. We're seeing a state of mental health increasing statistically from research suggesting from the ages of 2 years old, where children have been diagnosed to having some form of like mental health or depression to, up until the age of 90 to 100.
Yes.
So nobody is prone to not having it. And how do you think this could be balanced out? What needs to change in society where we're less...
I think what needs to change is, first of all, you need to change is how you think about yourself. And I think if we're always going to be worried about what others think about us and then take that upon us, I think that's where depression lies, is because we're too worried about what other people think. But we really don't know what we think. It doesn't mean you just, outlaw what other people are saying or whatever, but don't take it too much to heart. Be sad, be unhappy, it's okay.
Embrace it.
Embrace it. Like, we're all going to have certain circumstances in life that are going to make us unhappy. But it doesn't mean you stay there. Let go, move on. And I think in this day and age, the most important thing is look after yourself. If you look after yourself, then you can look after others as well.
All right.
And on that note, it is World Health Day, people.
Yeah, okay.
So on World Health Day, health is a priority where we're encouraging the message of healthy eating, healthy lifestyle. And Abba, you put your hand up, darling. So is this something you want to say about World Health Day? How do you think people should be healthy?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, we're going to.
Did you have a point to say earlier? What Mama was saying? That's why you was putting your hand up.
No, I just want to say that whenever my parents have pain, I always give them a good massage.
Yeah.
Oh,
she does.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But you know what? She's become very observant lately, and I think she knows I'm a bit annoyed. As parents, people get frustrated days, and she's like, "Mummy, is something wrong?" And when she asks me that question, I get taken aback. I'm like, "Where's she getting this from?" She goes, "Mummy, is something wrong? Is something upsetting you?
Bless.
Why are you reacting this way?" I'm in awe at the moment. I'm like, at the same time, I'm proud. At the same time, I want to shout at her. I'm like, just leave me alone. You know, but the later when I realised, that's really sweet because she's able to read. She has emotional intelligence. She's able to read your facial expression. And it's like she's probably and the main thing is she wants to understand why is Mummy feeling this way, and I think that's amazing. And I don't know where she's got that from, to be honest.
I think we don't realise how smart our children are.
True.
And it's obviously it's rubbing off on her the way you are, the work that you do. She's able to have that sensitivity to emotions. And so don't be surprised. It's going to be it's naturally going to come to her. So folks, if you've tuned in on Facebook Live or via the radio, you are listening to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock. It is Monday, 8th of April. It's 54 minutes past 10. It's a rather sort of slightly chilly, foggy morning. And I hope wherever you are, if you're listening to us via whilst travelling, then please do drive safely. It is rather foggy out there. We are joined by two wonderful, wonderful guests in the studio by the name of Musart Ellaahi and Anaba, mother and daughter duo, joining me on this lovely Easter half-term break. We are also going to be having further conversations with them on the show. They're going to stay with me till 12 o'clock. Also, I'm going to be joined by the hub manager and community activist Husna Rasul of the charity Level Trust. Now, the Level Trust is a charity that tries to make sure that no child goes to school without a good, a suitable uniform, warm coat, and school shoes in Luton. She is joining us from the uniform swap shop, inshallah, after 11 o'clock to make a special exclusive announcement as well. So do not go away from the dial, because we're finding out exactly what that is and actually finding out the work of the Level Trust. The Level Trust is a charity that Inspire FM has supported in the past. We did the Winter Warm campaign, enabling enough warm coats for the local children of Luton, and you guys helped us with that. So we're going to find out what the latest is with any campaigns that the Level Trust is doing. Now, in the studio, Musart is still going to be joining me, and we're going to be talking to her about being an award-winning international inspirational speaker, and her being an ambassador for a award ceremony celebrating the achievements of women across the country. Now, if you want to join in with any of the conversation, then you can do on our WhatsApp 07779 481822. We're heading off to a break, so join me straight after this. Assalamu alaikum.
A brand new show has just landed at Inspire FM, Mother's Planet. Join us on air or via Facebook for a good old chinwag about motherhood. Share your experience or expertise with others, whether it's what's the best shampoo to use or what to cook for dinner. The floor of discussion is yours. Join me, Neelam, Fridays at 10 a.m. only on Inspire FM.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and assalamu alaikum. It's 11 o'clock, Monday, 8th of April, and you're listening to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock this morning on this slightly foggy, mild morning across Luton and surrounding areas. But I believe that the sun will seep through later on in the afternoon. Now, if you are driving, please do drive safely wherever you are. And if you're listening in to the show this morning, do tell us where you're tuned in from. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend and having a great start to the week. Now, the week is it's the first day of the half-term break. It's the Easter holidays. And so I'm sure there's going to be lots of parents planning activities with their children, or there might be children who've already started their homework given to them by their schools. Now, the question I have to listeners this morning is, should schools be setting homework, or are they giving too much homework? And if they're giving too much homework, Like, how much should it be? And if you're a parent or a child listening in, do you think the homework there should be no homework, and parents should be taking responsibility of the activities that they're holding, that happen across the holiday break? Now, this morning I had the great pleasure of being joined by a fabulous family. They are no other than the Hussein family. Bilal and Saira Hussein joined me this morning with their remarkable children. They are little fundraising stars by the name of Haashim, who was 7, and Hassan, who is 5 years old. And they actually raised over £2,000 to help the Luton Food Bank via the Colour Fund Run. So they ran a race which they raised money for, mashallah, and they came and shared with us their experience. Now, it was quite significant that they joined us this morning, because it is the half-term break, and the half-term is a time when there's going to be lots of families that are going to be reliant on the food bank. And it's not just the food bank that they're relying on. They're also, parents are going to be struggling possibly to get uniforms for their children. Now, children always have a growth spurt in the holidays. For some reason, they seem to get taller by the end of the week or 2 weeks when they get back to school, and the trousers are too short or the sleeves are too short. And yeah, I know people. I know the feeling. So it's an absolute pleasure to be joined by our next guest in the studio, who is somebody who's been working very, very hard to make sure that every child in Luton has access to a good, decent school uniform, so it doesn't restrict them from learning. Now, you may have seen the Level Trust uniform shop. It is actually in the mall in Luton, and Husna Rasul, mashallah, is joining me this morning to talk about the Level Trust. She's a community activist as well, and she's very, very poignant in the Luton community. Thank you so very much, Husna, for joining me.
Assalamualaikum.
It's a pleasure having you join me back in the show. It's been ages.
It's been too long, hasn't it? I used to be a regular.
And inshallah, may you continue to be a regular. So it's an absolute pleasure having you. It's an absolute pleasure having you joining me this morning on the show. And you're not alone, because we've got a mum and daughter duo in the studio this morning keeping us company. And it's Musart Ellaahi, who is a host, television host. She's also a author, a high performance mindset coach, an award-winning international inspirational speaker, and her gorgeous little daughter, Anaba. Anaba, how old are you? 9-year-old Anaba. Now, what's interesting is when Musart, you know about the uniform shop, don't you?
Mashallah.
So tell us what you noticed.
When I heard about it, I think it's been about 2 years since it started, isn't it? Or about
a year and a half.
A year and a half. Because when I saw that, I was absolutely thrilled to say that, because uniforms cost lots of money, and I think especially for parents, they want their children to look good when they go to school, and I think every country and actually every city should have this, because it saves so much money. It's helping the environment, and lots of the uniform that is made is actually of high quality, so you could always exchange, and why not? And it's free, so subhanallah, well done.
Absolutely,
well done.
Thank you. And you've just done the whole spiel for me.
But it was wonderful, the fact that somebody already recognises what the Level Trust uniform swap shop is. But I'm going to let you tell us a little bit more about the uniform shop.
So I can tell you practically how it works. That's probably the most helpful to your listeners who perhaps haven't used us before. We are upstairs in Luton Mall, so next to the Children's Centre, sort of above Thornton's. And you can come in and visit us, bring in your old school uniform, but we don't mind what condition it's in. So as Musart said, we can recycle. It's still good for the environment. So if it's not reusable, it will still go on to have another life.
Okay.
But everything that's, we will quality check everything and get everything cleaned so that families can take good quality uniform. So whether it's the next size up, whether it's because you're having a change of school, or because it's coming up to summer and you want a summer dress instead of a pinafore or a pair of trousers, you can swap anything for anything. So yeah, just come in and see us. It's absolutely free. And we've got some nice comfy chairs. You've been in, haven't you, Shemiza?
I love the space. It doesn't actually look... You'd think a place like that might be intimidating, or it might be like, oh gosh, I don't want to enter this shop. I don't want to be seen here. But it's lovely, very welcoming. I love the colour scheme. I love the balloons. You know what? It's Instagrammable.
It's Instagrammable. That
Totally.
is
Yeah, I think I saw the pictures of that when it was opening out. It did not look like I'm not going to say charity shops looks bad, but I'm just saying it looked like a very hi-fi uniform shop.
Yeah.
It didn't even look like a swap shop, so it looked amazing.
Yeah, we want it to be a normal shopping experience because it is, and we want this to become the way that people get their uniform. So it's not just about, whether you can afford it or you can't afford it. We think this is the best way to get uniform because it is good for the environment. And it helps everyone. So if you don't need it, someone else can make use of it.
And definitely, and honestly, when you're a parent on a budget, uniforms can cost an arm and a leg. And on average, termly, parents could be spending over £200.
Yeah. So a high school uniform for one child is just over £200.
Yeah.
And if you have more than one child, that's a lot of money to go out.
Definitely. And you raise a very interesting point about it being it's environmentally friendly. The fact that, and that's a key thing at the moment, is climate change, environmental issues, and the fact is that clothing has a massive big impact on the environment.
Yes, absolutely. Just the amount of water that's used to produce a new item, the way that things are made, and then when we're done with them, they usually often end up in landfill. So it's not a sustainable way of living.
Folks, if you've tuned in, you are listening to the Urban Kube show. I'm joined by awesome guests, as always, sharing with me their passion, their creativity, and the causes that they believe in. And on today's show, we're speaking to no other than Musart Ellaahi, 9-year-old Anaba, and the very awesome Husna Rasul, who is a local community activist, and she's the hub manager of the Level Trust, which is a charity that really aims to make sure that no child goes without resources to make sure that they get to school happy, healthy, and just active. Now, the Uniform Swap Shop is a wonderful initiative led by the Level Trust. It's actually up and running. It's been running for,
We've been piloted before, but we got our permanent home in the mall in August 2017.
So it's still, it's a young space,
yes.
but it's actively being used?
Absolutely. We're obviously we're busiest in the summer,
right.
But we're used throughout the year. People change schools, as you said, kids grow, kids lose their uniform.
Oh my goodness.
So we are in demand all the time, and that's sort of part of the reason why I'm here today, is to ask your listeners if they can help us. At the moment, we are not able to meet demand. We're a really small team, we punch above our weight, and we rely on volunteers to make sure that we can reach families and reach more families. We'd love to be open longer. That's what we're hearing from families. And so we need volunteers. We need people who can give their time to help us help the families of Luton. And it's a great way to build up skills and experience. It's a great way to develop in your career, and it's a great way to give back as well.
It can't get better than that.
Absolutely.
So if you are somebody who's got some spare time and you like the sound of what the Level Trust are doing with the Uniform Swap Shop, then I think this could be quite ideal for you. So how can people get in touch with you?
So they can email me, and the best way, I guess the easiest way to find my email, if you haven't got a pen right now, go onto leveltrust.org or go onto Facebook and search for Level Trust.
Awesome. So search for Level Trust, and Inspire FM have had a lovely working relationship with Level Trust because we were part of the Winter Coat campaign. What was the result of the Winter Coat campaign, and how?
Why is it you've asked me a question that I can't answer because I wasn't part of Level Trust then. I joined just.
Was that you came after? Sorry.
I came after that, but I know that it was a really successful campaign,
And it was, mashallah.
to make sure that kids could go to school warm and dry. So that they don't start their day at a disadvantage. So if you can imagine how cold it's been this winter, and previous winter was even colder, if you're turning up at school cold, shivering, and we also help with school shoes, if your feet are wet because the rain's getting in, you're not ready to learn, you're not ready to enjoy learning, you're already uncomfortable. And so we want to make sure that every child has that opportunity to get to school looking as smart as their peers. They don't stand out. They just fit in.
Yeah, that's such a valid point, because I think I wish every country would do this, because I have some people that I know that who speak to me about their problems and stuff like that, and one of the biggest problems they have is whenever it's summer or winter, is having to afford the uniform again.
Yes.
And also that we are quite lucky actually. I buy like 5 pairs of uniforms from her for to run throughout the year,
Sure.
so that that she has one clean uniform a day if need be.
Yeah.
But I think if you're in a country where that you can only afford one set of uniform, the mothers have to wash their uniform every single day so they can look clean the next day, so the children don't feel left out. So I think, like you said before about volunteers, I wanted to ask as well, actually, I was intrigued to know, do you do like all the schools in Luton, or oh wow, mashallah. So like, especially because also every school has its own badge.
Exactly. So that adds to the cost.
Because secondary schools, I think primary schools you can get away with because it's more it's just blue and black or whatever, or white, and it's easy to find that.
And I'm going to be very, very open and be an example of this absolutely amazing service, because my son had to change school and I didn't have the funds to actually buy a uniform straight away, and I only had like 5 days to do this transfer. And I went into the uniform shop.
Did a swap.
And I did a swap.
Wow.
And I got, thank you so very much, a jumper and a blazer and a tie. And he was I thought, gosh, my son might be a little bit reluctant to take. He was very grateful, and he wore it. And you know what? And he hasn't looked back. So thank you. That's really, really helped me and supported me.
And that's exactly what we're here for. And the other thing is we are so strict on quality control.
Okay, wonderful.
For me, it's a case of making sure that every item, if I wouldn't go into a shop and buy it for myself, it's not good enough to go in the uniform exchange.
Well done.
And we want everyone to have the best. It's not just about, well, this doesn't cost anything. It's about having the best.
And I think you made a very good point about, as you said before, like when children come in with the wet shoes and whatever, or looking grubby. I think those children might be like to get bullied as well sometimes, because they look different, they feel different, and they might get picked on. Lack of confidence. Might get picked on. I've got people who think I've got nice crisp uniform, you don't, and mashallah, well done, because now the quality you're basing, not just giving the budget help here, you're emphasizing equality.
Equality, and that nobody sees any difference between an old and a new uniform, mashallah. Folks, if you've tuned in, it's 13 minutes past 11. You're listening to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza, Husna, Musart and Anaba. This morning we're talking about uniforms and volunteering. So if you're somebody who has some time on your hand and would love to give to the community, then the Level Trust might be a charity that you may want to support. They're looking for volunteers to support them in their shop, the uniform shop, which is based on the upper level of the mall. This is a wonderful, wonderful service, making sure that no child goes to school without a suitable uniform. A massive, big service that we're so lucky to have in the heart of Luton, mashallah, because I don't know any other place that's providing a service like this, really benefiting the community of Luton. Now, Husna is the hub manager. She's somebody that you'll recognise the voice of, because she's participated in so many amazing initiatives across the town, and it's always a pleasure to have her joining the show. Looking rather green this morning. You're blending so well with the decor of the studio. So Husna, tell us one more time, what is the Level Trust, the uniform shop, for just anybody who's missed the show this morning?
Sure. Level Trust is a charity. We are from Luton. We are passionate about Luton. And for us, it's about making sure that every child has an equal chance when they go to school. So you've spoken about homework. We do provide some homework resources as well.
Oh, wow.
Because we know that children that learn at home do better. And we know that those things cost money. So you can set homework, but you might not have all the resources that you need to be able to do them at home. You can speak to your schools about that. We help with school shoes and winter coats, and then the uniform exchange that we've spoken quite a lot about. As Shemiza said, we're located upstairs in the mall, and you can come in and give us any old school uniform in any condition from any school and swap it for good quality uniform that we've got. It doesn't have to be like for like, and it doesn't matter if they've outgrown it or if you've just moved to Luton and you've got old uniform. If you haven't got uniform, still come speak to us or speak to your family worker, and we'll still be able to help you. So especially in the summer, we get a lot of people who it's their first child starting school, and obviously they don't have any uniform to swap, so you can still come and see us.
Oh wow, that's nice. That's lovely.
You're tempted now, aren't you? You're like, forget, I'm going to come to Luton
when I was uniform now next year.
Well, Just move to Luton.
Yeah,
Move to Luton. That's the thing.
volunteer at the Uniform Exchange.
Awesome. Folks, so much going on in the show this morning. I hope we're keeping you company on this half-term break. We have been talking about the Luton Food Bank. We've been talking about Level Trust Charity as well. Two amazing services that are really making a difference to many lives across the town of Luton. The conversation is not going to run dry because we're going to be talking about an exclusive with Husna, with Level Trust and Inspire FM. A bit of an exclusive. We're going to be finding out a little bit more about that. In the show this morning, I'm also joined by the very fabulous Musart, who is talking to us about her life as a extraordinary woman. That's all I can say. TV host, mindset coach, author, mother. Is there anything this woman isn't capable of doing? Thank you so much, Musart, for staying with me on the show this morning, and also finding out a little bit more about Luton and the services that we provide. I mean, what do you think to the town?
I'm really impressed. I think it's a small town, isn't it? It's just lovely, and I think I'm just so glad that how you said that it started and you can't meet demand. I'm actually so happy to hear that, because that just shows how much of the community has got together and appreciating your service. You probably saved so much money, and also, that money could be used to help someone, more
pay a bill.
Yeah, pay a bill, more needy or whatever. I'm just really impressed. I'm just awed at the moment, actually.
Okay, we got a little bit of vibing going on here. I'm just going to take the mic and just take over, right? All right, you can leave the love over
I think
there.
I might need to take Husna to my show, actually. And interview her.
Totally.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about your show, Musart.
Do you speak Urdu, by the way, Husna?
Yeah, she does. She is everything. She can do everything. There's nothing this woman cannot do.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's just lovely. And I'm so proud. So it fills me with pride when I'm able to share stories and then they go on to collaborations and people are united as guests and move on to doing other things as well. And this show that you are talking about, tell us a little bit more about that.
So Meet This Ahead, like I mentioned earlier.
Give us the title again.
Meet This Ahead.
What does that mean?
That means Dawn of Hope.
Ooh.
So it's I interview inspirational women, Urdu speaking. It's okay if it's 70-30 or 50-50, don't worry. As long as you understand the host, as long as you understand the question.
Just say G.
Do you know what I mean? G.
That's like all my nephews of the same age. That's what they say. G. But mashallah, I'm quite lucky. She speaks a little bit of Urdu. She's all right.
No, I'm better than my big older cousin.
No, she is.
Oi. I like that.
Well, that's because she's been going to Pakistan every year. So I think that makes a big difference.
Is that we're going to be talking about road trips, and I want you guys to kind of think about what's been the most memorable road trip you guys have had, because it is holidays, half term.
Yeah.
The question we've been posing to our listeners and to our guests this morning is homework, half term. Should teachers give homework to children? Is it too much? Is it too little? And should parents take the initiative to actually coordinate and create learning for the children, take the responsibility of doing that? And travel is a big thing. A lot of parents take their children away on holidays, so forth, and that's one mean of educating children. The Bilal Hussein, Sarah Mahmood, the couple that was in the studio this morning are taking their children away to Pakistan and Dubai, and that's a wonderful way of kind of introducing culture and luxury. Anaba is going away on holiday. Where are you going, darling?
I'm going to Denmark, but also next year we're going to live in Pakistan.
Oh dear, she just broke something.
Oh, exclusive! We have an exclusive in the studio, so tell us more. Why?
Well, actually, we've been wanting to relocate, so inshallah, we might be going to. Well, I have to say definitely
she said
to get you ready for it.
And I said that, are you actually saying it?
Yeah,
like maybe, and then she said definitely.
I said inshallah, we're going to try our best. So
These butchie look, they're
Can't
just
keep anything down.
You cannot, and especially the announcement on three different radio stations across Luton. Sorry, you have to move to Pakistan. This actually goes to Pakistan. We talked about Imran Khan earlier on. He might be listening in.
Yeah, well, you never know. Actually, we want to relocate, and I am actually looking into working with lots of women communities out there, inshallah. So, and I think it's very, very good for children. And plus, she's at an age now that we thought, okay, let's give it a shot, because it won't mess up. If we don't like it, we can always come back. And
I'm noticing a lot of families are locating back to Pakistan, which is really amazes me. Why? Why is there a desire
to be honest,
to do that?
I love Pakistan. Even though I've been brought up here, I absolutely have a very warm touch with my country. And I think if you've got things going for you there, like work-wise, whatever, why not? And plus you've got the weather. You can't go wrong.
You cannot go wrong.
The 4 seasons,
life of luxury and lawn.
I think
lawn suits.
Yeah, lawn, my niece said to me actually when I announced this to my niece, I don't know if she's listening in, but she goes, "Khala, you've been watching too many Pakistani dramas."
Do you think this is what's stimulating this desire to go to
it did
Pakistan?
stimulate me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, wow, just look at their kotiyan. Look at their gadiyan, right? They don't have no council tax bills. You know what I mean? All they have is the rent, and the rent is cheap as cheerful. Like, it's cheap as chips. Like,
darling, they're listening in right now. You're not going to get any cheap rent after this, believe me. So, are you a parent that is actually considering locating to Pakistan or a different country? Do tell us. We'd love to hear from you, because it's also an opportunity to kind of educate your child in a different environment. And I know so many people that have done that and haven't looked back. So, Husna, is that something you would do? Would you leave Blighty, wonderful Britain, and to relocate if you had the opportunity to do so? And talk to me about your favourite road trip, because you're a traveller as well, aren't you?
It's really hard to think hypothetically. Would I, if the opportunity... It's really tempting. Perhaps short term.
Short term,
yeah,
right.
Perhaps for like a year. But I have family here that I love very much. I have friends.
You can come back to them on holidays. Why not?
On holidays, I like that.
We could start a uniform shop in Pakistan. How about that?
I'll help you set it up. I'll come out for a year. I'll help you set it up.
She'll pay as well.
Yeah.
So inshallah.
Inshallah, you never know. Inshallah, you never know. No, because like I said earlier, your initiative should be in every country, and I think if it's in every country, every town, equality would be everywhere.
It'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
And you raised a very interesting point: equality.
Yes.
There is such a divide. The divide seems to be stretching further and further apart.
Yeah.
Where we're seeing more going out without, and this is 2019.
Yeah.
What is going on, Husna? Why is there this inequality?
Oh gosh, I don't know, but we've seen the rise in child poverty figures. Although employment isn't necessarily unemployment isn't rising. I think it's a lot of low-paid, insecure employment. So most people who are struggling financially are in work, and that usually surprises people. It's not a case of people not working, it's work that isn't paying very well.
Right.
And I think that's definitely one of the biggest factors.
And these are hardworking people. Absolutely. We always assume it's lazy people are poor. No. We're seeing a lot of hardworking parents who are actually accessing the food bank or accessing lots of other services. And there's no shame in doing so. The fact is the high, inflation, cost of living is so extortionate at the moment, and level of living, the living wage is not measuring at the same capacity. So the Level Trust is a charity that's enabling that support for families. Mashallah, may it continue.
Ameen.
Husna, tell us again how people can get involved, get in contact with you, and what they can do.
Yeah, we are looking for people to join our team as volunteers, and we cannot do our work without volunteers. We are a really small team. As Musart asked, do you work with all the schools? Yes, we work with all the schools in Luton. So we punch way above our weight. And our reach for the size of our team is phenomenal, but we're not meeting demand. So we need people to come and join us and help us reach families by volunteering 4 hours a week of their time. And we can be flexible on that. Get in touch, search for us on Facebook, Level Trust, or go on our website, leveltrust.org. Drop me an email or give us a call. All our contact details are on there. But yeah, we cannot meet the demand of families in Luton at the moment without your help.
And we do have a very high proportion of children, a growing number of children, increased population of children in the town, which is a beautiful thing,
yes.
But there are families that are struggling, and that's what we hope our conversation today will hopefully initiate volunteers. But we're going to be talking about an exclusive after the break, something that Inspire FM and Level Trust are going to participate in. So if you want to find out what that is, then you need to stay listening into the show this morning, still joined by Musart Ellaahi and Husna, and we're going to be having more great conversations and enjoying a bit of jalebi straight after the break. Join us then. Assalamu alaikum.
Tune in to Inspire FM on 105.1 FM and globally at www.inspirefm.org. Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit giggly because I've just had some lovely, interesting conversations with my absolutely wonderful guests in the studio this morning. Now, you can't have a bright Monday morning without tuning into the Urban Kube. This is the Urban Kube on Inspire FM, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock. And this time, I promise, I have put up the mics, so I will make sure that we get to hear who our guests are this morning because, they're all up and I'm raring to go. It is 11:30, Monday 8th of April, and you're listening to no other than the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza, taking up to 12 o'clock. It is going live and direct across the surrounding areas of Luton. Also, massive big salams to our listeners on Salam Radio this morning in Peterborough and Link FM in Sheffield. I hope you guys are all well. Do tell me if you're listening in. Do leave a comment on the Facebook Live page. We are live and direct. The camera's rolling, where we've got the very wonderful Musart Ellaahi, who's not camera shy because she's a TV host herself on a really beautiful Urdu program on Islam Channel, and her daughter.
Urdu, yes.
Yeah, Urdu, not Urdu.
That's made me so happy.
Why?
When people say, do you speak Urdu? Oh, I speak Urdu. No, you can't even say the name of it. Don't tell me you speak the language. It's really
Well, I would say Urdu for the Gore people, to be honest.
I still wouldn't change it. If
you speak to a Gora, you would say Urdu. If you say Urdu, they'd be like, what?
Yeah, they're going to have to learn
Especially with my
they're
name.
They're going to have to learn.
It's really weird.
I also don't agree with anglicising your name to make it easier for people. If it doesn't fit in their mouth, it doesn't fit
Trust
in
me,
their mouth.
I had to. We had a very big giggle about this last time, didn't we? Shemiza?
Yes, tell us more.
Yes, please.
Gosh, I've had to change my name spelling from Musart to Musart.
Why?
So English people can pronounce it. Because when I was at school, I used to be called Muzarat.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
And the worst. So I used to get bullied about it as well. So I just changed the spelling when I went to secondary school. I said, I am not taking that with me.
I understand that. Yes.
So
I think
now
if it's a bullying
everybody
thing,
calls me Musart, so it's okay.
Musart.
I like it.
But your neighbour called you something else.
My neighbour called me Masalad, and she still does to this day when I was growing up. Masalad, not even Musart, like Masalad.
Wow.
Yes, Anaba.
Some people ask me that, can I call you a Nabi? I was like, no. And then I said sometimes I just like mean person and said to that, hi Anaba banana.
Oh dear, but you correct them, don't you?
She
because
does.
your name is
Yeah.
Or they will say Annaba.
Annaba. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they will say Annaba, won't they, at school?
Yeah,
Somebody's call it Annaba. I'm like, no, it's Annaba.
So in nursery.
Yeah, nurseries call it Annaba.
And what does Annaba mean?
And that means grapes from heaven.
Beautiful. What a beautiful name that you
It's
have.
from the Quran,
and
isn't it?
From the Quran. And you are an absolutely beautiful child. It's such a pleasure having your company this morning, Annaba. 9 years old. And she wants to be a scientist, inshallah. She's joining her mummy today, Musart
Ellaahi.
Musart Ellaahi.
That's what Bibran Khan's listening.
Yeah.
Musart Ellaahi.
Musart Ellaahi, who has a Urdu show.
It's Urdu.
Urdu show, mashallah. And it's an absolute pleasure having you join us this morning. With
Urdu कैसी है वैसे शमाइज़ा जी?
ठीक ही है.
Okay. Husna, आप?
Gee.
I was waiting for that. I was just waiting for the G.
See, that's like a dummy's guide to Urdu, isn't it? Just say G.
G. I think you can get through any Urdu conversation with 3 words. G, acha, theek hai.
Okay.
I've done it.
Right, we've done it. We're having a crash course.
What if you have a question?
You don't need it. Hang on. That one. G? That's your question. It's such a versatile word.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I'm going to definitely have you on my show.
So, folks, you're listening in to Musart and Husna giving us a crash course on Urdu with words like theek hai, G, and acha. Is that it?
That's all you need.
That's all we need. But are there any other words for a survivor's guide to Urdu? So if you had to travel across Pakistan, what words would you recommend that you take along with you? Now, we're seeing a lot of interesting vloggers going around Pakistan and actually not, are not South Asian. These are travellers who are actually really trying to promote how beautiful Pakistan is. And Pakistan is a beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
It's a hidden gem.
To be honest, I don't know if you saw recently, have you heard about the food blogger, Mark Wains?
No.
You have to watch it. You have to watch it. He went all over Pakistan. He has over 3 million subscribers, but he's such a genuine soul. The way you watch him, he's from Bangkok. He's from Thailand, Bangkok, whatever. But he is amazing. The way he was eating the kebab and everything. He was eating like street food. He wasn't even eating hi-fi restaurant food.
Right.
And he just showed you a different side of Pakistan. I think that's what made me fall more in love with it, because there were sides I hadn't seen. And he was going to so many different cultures of Pakistan. And being a Pakistani myself, I didn't know that we had these many cultures within Pakistan. And he went to the mountains, he went to the valleys. It was like heaven on earth, literally. It was absolutely
So we're talking about road trips today as well. Is there a road trip that you would like to do? And I mean, I remember road trips back in the day when I was growing up. There was like 10 people in a car, no seatbelts, right? You could have a child you could have a child sat on top of the roof of the car. Nissan Micros people, do you remember them?
Yeah. I remember once that when I came to Pakistan, there's so much people in like a huge car. I had to sit on a suitcase.
Did you? Oh, dear. You have to have that experience. If you have not had that experience, you've got to tell that story to your future generations. A suitcase in the car packed in Pakistan.
Speaking of 10 people in the car, I remember when I was growing up, I was about 6 or 7 or 5 at the time, and there was a family wedding in Dewsbury, and we had to come from London. Manchester, Dewsbury side, Bradford. And I remember there was like 10 of us in one estate car, and 3 of us, me and my 2 siblings, were in the boot with a blanket. And all I remember is the lovely memory staring at the motorway from the back of the car with the gumbo and chocolate and dairy milk in my hand. Yeah, it was fun. And I had my grandparents
safeguarding.
I think that time, in those days,
didn't exist.
It didn't exist at that time. I think London wasn't very strict on car rules. I think you could have as many people in the car. They weren't until later on. I think they came up with the rule that if you have more than 5 people in the car, then you're in trouble. But
wow.
Have you got away with it?
Could I just point out? Please make sure that you have the right number of seats, seatbelts, and children sat respectfully tied down in a car seat. There are recommendations.
But it was fine.
Okay.
It was fine.
And this was in the past, people. It's not happening now. Yes, Anaba.
I just want to say, when there's a lot of people in my dad's car, sometimes
a lot of people in your dad's car.
Yeah,
Can you not say something we're gonna get in trouble for? Please don't.
Sometimes we have to be under the chair.
Oh dear.
Okay, all right. Let's just gonna put the mic down. Husna, we have an exclusive. That was not an exclusive. Anaba, better. We're live.
I don't care. We could do embarrassments.
We could do embarrassments. Oh, wow.
Okay. We just love children on this show. Mashallah, mashallah. Husna.
I will tell you about my dream road trip, and that is around Pakistan. That is from the north right down to sort of Sindh. I would love to explore, and I think it's, like you say, we don't get to.
Sindh is beautiful,
yeah. We don't get to experience the whole country. We often go and visit our families, which is important.
And I think also you'd be surprised, like if you watch Mark Wain, like I was saying, that we have different types of food within Pakistan that I didn't even know about. Like we were just used to the roti, sal and whatever, but there's different parts of Pakistan that they don't even use chilies, they don't even use spices. It's all very bland, but it's healthy, and that's why in the mountains people are living more, because they're having very healthy diets.
And I'm sure they're very active as well.
Today's me World Health Day, and I'm eating jalebi.
I think it's cringy.
Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation. Folks, this show is all about moderation. I promise you. I hope you're enjoying the conversation so far. Would be awesome to find out where you're listening in from, people. The WhatsApp number is 07779 481 It is half term. Are you travelling whilst listening to us? Are we playing in your car? If we are, then safely, somebody who does not have their hands on the wheel, please text us and tell us that we're keeping you company this morning. Now in the studio, Facebook Live, you can see 3 wonderful, lovely ladies in the studio this morning, keeping me company all the way up to 12 o'clock. We have got Musart, Anaba, and the very, very awesome Husna, who's our local guest. And Musart Ellaahi have come all the way from London this morning, and Husna is a local activist, community activist, and the hub manager of the Level Trust. And she has an exclusive to announce on the show today, where I hear Inspire FM are getting involved. Tell us more.
I feel like this is your announcement.
It's my announcement.
Go ahead, honestly. I feel like... Okay,
I'm enjoying the jalebi.
Okay.
I'm eating whilst talking to you. It's so rude.
Not at all. Okay, so the Urban Kube and us, we're going to have an exclusive show. Is this the first time you're going to do something like this, Shemiza?
It is the first time.
Okay, so for the first time, Shemiza is going to join us in the Uniform Exchange. Ooh. So you'll be able to see us on Facebook Live and hear all about our work and our different projects.
Awesome. So I will be joining, the Urban Kube on Inspire FM will be going live at the uniform shop at Level Trust. And so... if you'd like to come down and say hello, when are we arranging this for? We're going to be sharing the date.
To be announced.
To be announced. You can get to meet us in the uniform shop, get to find out what's going on, speak to the volunteers, and bring your uniforms down. We'd love you to bring your uniforms down to support the awesome work of the uniform shop. I'm super excited because I've never done a live broadcast in a different space, and what makes this more exciting for me is the fact that I'm very passionate about child food poverty or child poverty, issues impacting mothers, art for social action. So it really makes sense to kind of get involved with something like this that's really making a difference to our community in Luton. Now, we might even drag Brother Tariq down because he's quite good at he's actually better than me. Doing live broadcasts. Just to create the banter. If you'd like to join the show, if you'd like to be a guest on that day when we announce it, we'd love to hear from you as well. What do you expect from me? What are you hoping I'll be able to bring to the Level Trust on that broadcast, do you think?
Your sparkly self. Yeah, your passion. I'm really excited.
Jalebis will be nice.
Oh, yeah, please bring jalebis.
Yeah. Cookies, cake, jalebi. You know what? I'll worry about my health after. It's just, it is world health.
It's all in the mind.
Everything's sweet.
It's all in the mind.
All in the mind, she says. The queen of mindfulness. The whole purpose is to make you aware of what's going on. And we as a radio station are very passionate about local charity work, the charities that are actually really making a difference to our younger generation, because the younger generation are who are going to build Luton in the future, inshallah. So if we can't help them from the bottom, then really what is the point of our work? So alhamdulillah, I'm really, really blessed that I'm being given that opportunity. It's going to be a bit of a challenge to be talking for 2 hours in a busy space, and I'll be serving customers as well. Do you think will I be doing that too? Husna, stop typing. Listen.
It's work.
Work.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make Shemiza behind the till then?
Oh, we don't have a till, and Shemiza, it's not the uniform shop, it's a uniform exchange, so we're a shop that isn't a shop.
I'm glad you corrected me.
Although we look like a shop, and I think that's really telling, is that you keep calling it a shop because it looks and feels like a shop. There's a counter, there's no till.
So where is it? Is it in the town hall local?
In the mall in Luton. So in the centre of...
I'll have a look at it on the way back.
Why don't you do a blog?
I saw it.
I will do a blog on actually on my blog.
Wonderful.
So uniform exchange shop. I need to get that correct because I keep...
Not shop.
Uniform exchange.
Uniform exchange, yeah. But if you keep calling it shop, that's because it looks like a shop,
Yes.
It feels like a shop.
Yeah, and I went through the whole show saying that.
Yeah.
You weren't listening to me, were you?
I promise I was. I just thought I'll let it go.
I always do that. Uniform exchange.
Well done.
Yay! Can I have a job now?
Job.
Oh,
Would you like a job? Would you like to?
She said you have a job.
I do.
She's correcting you.
Oh, thank you for that. And Albert, you've been listening into the show today. You've been hearing about some of the things that have been mentioned, a little bit about your mum, a little bit about the work Husna's doing, and some of the things I've been talking about. What's your experience been like this morning? Were you expecting the show to be like this?
No, because I thought like sometimes I thought my mom would be like in a headphone just talking to the people on the radio. But you're the one who's supposed to do that.
And am I doing a good job or not a good
You're
job?
doing a very good job.
Thank you. Gosh, she's good, isn't she?
Good. I think
very
you're doing a good job too.
Thank you very much. I hope I do a better job in the Level Trust Uniform Exchange. And I've got it right now. Thank goodness for that.
2 hours later.
2 hours later, when we're just like heading to the... It's 11:44, but I've got it sorted now. Folks, you can catch any of the conversations back on the Facebook Live page. You can actually see all the action there. We are on repeat of the show at 8 p.m. this evening as well. We're also a podcast. You can catch that on Inspire FM webpage. We are live on the app. We're iTunes, we're Spotify. You cannot miss the show. We're everywhere. But alhamdulillah, we're so pleased that we are everywhere. Now, there is a bit of a Ramadan countdown going on because I believe it's 4 weeks down to Ramadan.
Yeah.
So, Musart, how are you going to be kind of, getting yourself prepared for Ramadan?
Well, it's my favorite month of the year, actually. I think everything just feels like a time has stopped. I love it when it's Ramadan. I think, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts such a natural, it just puts a natural sabr inside you, because fasting, just overeating and stuff like that. That's one thing I always make sure is, you cannot be moaning. Well, that's something that I teach anyway, as being a mindful coach. But, it's about not complaining and not being unhappy, just appreciating the now. Because when you're in a gratitude state, it's hard to feel anxious, it's hard to feel angry or frustrated. So when Ramadan comes, I think it's nice for for self-centering. And what I mainly like to prepare is, I always have these intentions of completing a certain amount of ibadah, for the month, because all the rewards we do on that month is just intensified, isn't it? It's just multiplied that we don't even know. So it's one of my favorite months. It helps you lose weight. You look good at the end of it. There's lots of things. You cannot go wrong with Ramadan.
Excluding all the superficiality of it all, but it's all about internal, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. But it's just that because, your face is glowing from... Because it's like a cleanse, isn't it? But I'm saying that nowadays, lots of... as it's World Health Day, is fasting now is coming more into the Western...
of course it is, yeah.
Community. Like, they're saying, it's really good for you, this and that. But we've been doing this for years.
Yeah, regenerating the immune system.
Exactly. It's it's renewing your internal organs, and healthily wise, and also try not to eat too many samosa pakore. Otherwise, what's the point? But if you have a healthy diet and stuff like that, you come out feeling renewed, and it's my ultimate favorite month of the year.
Anaba, you have your hand up, darling. I love how patient she is. She puts her hand up. I feel like a teacher.
You are one.
I just want to say that I know what Ramadan means because Allah just gave us a test that you shouldn't swear, be angry, and I know why He just gave us to be fast because so we don't be greedy.
Yeah.
Mashallah.
I appreciate what we have.
Thank you so much for that, Anaba. I think she's got potential for being a radio host. What do you think? Or a television host. I think she'll be taking over very, very soon. I hope she does.
My mum's a host.
I know she is, and a very good one too. What does she do? Tell us what is it that you can tell us about your mummy, but don't embarrass her. We're not doing embarrassing moments.
That she's a very good author, and I'm really proud of her of the work she done, and she's been lots of caring about me and helping me out, and I like her. I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Naba.
Oh, I'm getting all emotional. Oh, can I just blow you a little kiss? There you go, darling. Mashallah, stay blessed always. May Allah always protect you from Nazar. Mashallah, what a beautiful, beautiful child. You're getting emotional, aren't you?
I am. I'm like, wow, where's this all coming from?
But it's coming from a good place.
Yeah.
It's coming from a beautiful place. She's a very smart, intelligent girl.
It's so funny. She goes to school and she tells, I don't know, whenever I'm late to pick her up, actually if I'm a few minutes late, she's there having a lovely conversation with her teacher saying, my mummy's a celebrity. So she goes, oh, mummy, she's not recording today. She should have been here by now. And they're like, what do you mean? She's like, she has a TV host. She's a teacher. And they're just laughing their head off, isn't it, your teachers? They don't. And I'm like, and I'm there looking like a right tramp going to pick her up from school. I'm like, I'm no celebrity now, but please stop it. She goes, no, mummy, you are.
Oh, like, bless. That's so sweet. And I think this is really important to kind of mention to all the mums and the dads that might be feeling a little bit inadequate in their role, trying to keep their emotions intact because the children are running riot because they're at home with them at the moment and it's half term. You know what? It's not about the material things.
Yeah.
Children just want time a little bit of, conversation. They're not always looking for everything to be perfect. You are perfect in just the way you are, folks. If you're having a bit of a moment where you're just feeling, you know what, I don't feel like a great parent, don't. Okay, children just want you to smile, giggle, and just have a joke with them, and just show and give them a bit of a hug, and that's all. I think that's the most beautiful thing ever. Just 5 minutes of your time, good quality time, is worth more than a great road trip elsewhere or something. Am I going on a little bit? Yeah. I think I am. I'm going to move over because I'm getting a little bit emotional. It's too early in the morning for that. Husna, the Level Trust Uniform Exchange is a space in the Upper Mall. It's in Luton, and it's opened. What times does it open and close?
Yeah. So at the moment we can only open sort of 5 times a week for 4 hours at a time.
Right.
And we'd like to open a lot more, and that's why we need your help to help us reach more people and stay open longer. At the moment we're open Tuesdays and Thursdays 12 till 4.
Okay.
Wednesdays and Fridays 9 till 1, and we've recently added a Saturday 10 till 2, so you can come and see us at least for a little bit on the weekend.
And you're wanting volunteers to kind of enable you to keep those working those opening hours slightly longer, because to meet the demand of parents.
Absolutely. So we know at the moment most of the time that we're open, it coincides with when the kids are at school. We also know that it's just not sufficient 4 hours a day. And we'd love to be able to open all day, 6 days a week at least. And so we need volunteers who can help us reach more families. So help us serve customers, help us greet people and make sure that they have a really high sort of level of customer service. But alongside that, offer emotional support to families that visit us as well. And if you're one of those families and you just want to come in for a chat, you feel like you're overwhelmed or you've got no one to turn to, come and have a chat,
that's
chat
nice.
with us. Yeah.
And it is a lovely, warm, welcoming space. I mean, when I go down just to say hello, I'm just tempted to sit there because they have Lego as well. I saw that they have Lego and lovely bright coloured chairs, and it's just such a lovely, vibrant place. And we'll be really showcasing and sharing that space, because I'm going to be doing a live broadcast from the Uniform Exchange very, very soon. So we'll keep you updated.
Let's make sure she's not sitting there just playing with the Lego. I'm actually quite worried about that now.
I'll hide all the Lego away.
Really?
She's like,
I don't want to break.
I'm so busy making a house. Like, don't disturb me.
I do need an extension on my property, so I just I use the Lego to create that. Yes, Anaba?
I know why you use the Lego because that's so you can remember your childhood.
I like that. Yes. Yeah. So remember the childhood. And also Lego's a great memory for lots of parents when your feet are bare and you're walking to picking up toys and things from the room, and then you tread on a bit of Lego.
That's the worst feeling ever.
Yeah.
Actually, did you know Lego has started to give a pair of slippers with each box now? And have you noticed that? Did you see an advert about that? It was so funny, and I was like, wow. It's too late, but they've added it with each box now.
Fantastic.
So parents don't hurt themselves. So when you're picking up Lego, put them on.
Mm-hmm. And
it's about remembering to put them on now.
Oh gosh, yeah, remembering and not flinging it across the room. Child, catching that child. But talking about slippers, shoes that have really made a bit of a marker at the moment was the Louboutin chappal, the Imran Khan chappal. They've called it not Imran Khan, but they called it the Imran chappal, where they've got the Peshwari chappal, but Louis Vuitton, however it's pronounced, has created this like Peshwari chappal and given it the Imran name. Yeah. Your thoughts on that, guys? Have you seen it? It was on my social media. Crazy.
Designers have been appropriating cultures and people's dress and wearing it as either costumes or as a fashion piece for years and years and years, and putting extortionate prices on them. It's absolutely nothing new.
There's one thing about appreciating culture, and then there's another thing about stealing it. And then profiting from it. But like you said, this is always going to continue, and it's a fad. It doesn't last for very long, and then they move on to the next thing. But it does say a lot about fashion and the fact that fashion, not very original, not very unique, but Pakistani fashion is mashallah very intriguing and interesting to observe.
There's a lot of replicas of that now going on as well, unfortunately. Like designers, like a lot of people are copying the designs and making replicas. So so you can get a cheaper outfit like on the same design, which I think is in a way not good because the designers have put all their hard work into making that, and then replicas are making it just to fit in with their clothing line.
So all about fitting in. You guys have really fitted into the show exceptionally well this morning. Thank you so much. And Nava, did you like the way I did that?
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. Cheers, love. You can take her home now. No, I love you, Anaba. You've been absolutely wonderful. Husna, Musart, thank you so much, and Anaba, for joining me this morning. It's
Pleasure.
been absolutely wonderful. You guys sharing with me your journeys, your passion for community engagement, and your creativity. I also want to say a massive big thank you to the Hussein family, which was Bilal, Saira, Hassan and Haashim as well. Catch the repeat of the show, 8 p.m. this evening. Podcast, Facebook, the app, web, everywhere and anywhere. There's no way you can miss the show, inshallah. I will be continuing with lots of creative conversations with a wonderful panel of guests on next week's show, Monday 10 till 12. And also I'll be doing a countdown to Ramadan, because I will be going live across Ramadan as well. It will be my 8th Ramadan show series. So yeah, super excited about that. If you're somebody that'd like to join us on that show to share your work, if you're local, would love to hear from you. We will also be talking to you about the live broadcast from the Level Trust uniform exchange as well, inshallah. And from Musart, Assalamu alaikum, Anaba and Husna, and from me, have a wonderful half term, people, and inshallah join me next week, 10 till 12, only on the Urban Kube. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Why not tune in to our live stream at inspirefm.org and follow and subscribe to our social media platforms at Inspire FM Luton.